next item on the agenda is ordinance number 2014-1866, and I have asked Cheryl here to stand and speak to that. So that ordinance.
Rather than go over this subject again, what I did in this agenda bill was to provide you with the time frames, a chronology basically of what has happened in the past and a listing of our future events. I left blanks to show where we don't really know when this is going to happen. But in here I've shown, when our existing interim zoning ordinance is going to expire and all the steps that we need to take. And unless someone has any questions, I just ask that you pass the ordinance as set forth there in the agenda bill, because this will extend your interim zoning ordinance. It's necessary so that we can go through these steps. We have to send these ordinances to the Planning Commission, let them have the hearing, and then have everything come back to you. And we are going to need another 6 months to do that. So that's my recommendation, if anybody has any questions. Oh, the only other thing is, if you could put a date in there for the 60-day hearing, that would be appreciated.
I do have one question. Sorry. I know when we were dealing with a moratorium, we had a time limit on how long we could keep a moratorium going. This is not a moratorium, this is an ordinance.
Same rules.
Same rules?
Same rules. We can only have this in place for 6 months. And we could put it in place for a year, given that we basically have a work plan here. But from what I understand, we're planning to move this along within the next 6 months. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah. So that's why.
I was hoping we'd get on sooner than that. I was just wondering if, is there a limit on how many of these we can?
Well, there isn't a limit in state law, but what you have to prevent is that you just keep adopting these over and over again and you don't take any action. What I see here is that there's action being taken. Of course, it's not as fast as maybe some people would like, but it's moving.
So, with that, I'd entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the extension of the interim zoning ordinance for recreational medical marijuana as written.
Second.
Councilmember Kay, would you like to speak to your motion?
I begrudgingly make this motion, but I do it to protect the city. I do think we had time to look at this, and I'm not sure why we could put a group of citizens together and a few people from industry and come up with a fact sheet in 5 weeks, but we can't come up with recommendations for ordinances in 4 months. So I begrudgingly do this to protect the city because I think it's for the benefit of the citizens.
Councilmember Fenton.
Yeah, this is necessary. We're obviously not going to have a final ordinance in place before the expiration of the current interim ordinance, so I think we do need to extend it. I hope we don't use anywhere close to the full length of it, but we need something as an interim.
So I have a question real quick before we continue on. With this motion, you had asked for a date. Do we want to amend it, or do we want to pass the ordinance and then put a date in? How would you recommend that we move forward with that?
Either way, if you pass the ordinance, we can, and you have a date, we can say Section 7 should be amended. 7?
I think we can pass the ordinance and then establish a date after it's been passed.
Yeah.
I just wanted
however you want to do it.
It needs to be passed before we establish a date.
Well, yeah.
She was asking that we include it
as an amendment to the ordinance, but however you want to do it. It's Section 6 is where the date is needed.
I guess that was my question. If we wanted to amend it to include a date, or if we just wanted to.
Yes, I've moved to amend my initial motion and revise the hearing date to be the first meeting in September.
Which would be September 8th.
That would be September 8th, 2014.
That's actually my motion.
Oh, sorry. Is that what I was seconding?
Were you in concurrence with that?
I will accept it from there.
Did we have to vote on the amendment if we haven't passed the ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay. So, any more discussion on the amendment? amendment as far as setting the hearing date.
So what's the date?
September 8th.
First meeting.
Any further discussion?
Was there a second?
Yeah.
Yes, these two, right?
He seconded it, and made the original motion.
All right. All those in favor of the amendment to include in the ordinance the hearing date of the September 8th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we'll go back to the motion. So any further discussion on Councilmember Albert?
Did your motion just say recreational, or did it say recreational and medical?
It's stated
As-
in here, it's a moratorium.
As recommended. As
Okay, I
written.
thought you just said recreation.
No, as
Okay.
written.
Okay.
Okay, further questions from council? And then, questions from the audience, comments? Okay, further comments from council? Roll call of council, please.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember Cave?
Aye.
Councilmember Olivera? Aye. Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Councilmember Steiger?
Aye.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Garberding?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Phew. Next item on the agenda, resolution number 2014-192. I have something for you.
Oh, it's Romeo.
Huh? Can we just take like a 2-minute recess?
Sure.
2 minutes. All those in favor of suspending the rules and taking a 2-minute, 5-minute recess?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Turn the AC on.